Greetings, listeners. Welcome to another exciting episode of Rounding Third, brought to you by Podbean.com. This is Zach Delight, and alongside me this evening is...
Chris Wilson here. What's going on, gang?
If you want to send us an email, hit us up at roundingthirdbase@gmail.com. You can also catch us on YouTube at Rounding Third and the number 1. And we are also on Facebook. Like our page, listen to our archived episodes at Rounding Third.
On today's show, we have an update on the steroid scandal. We also have some updates on baseball in the Barre.
Baseball in the Barre.
That is our new segment on some local news regarding the major leagues. And then we're going to finish off the show with a quick transaction update of some transactions going on within the MLB. So first, we're going to get right into that story about the steroids. And a new story is out that the MLB probe litigation could be a tad lengthy. And that being said, most of the suspensions will be served in 2014. So there's a lot of legal issues going on right now. One of the issues here was, can a player not be previously disciplined under the drug agreement? Can they be suspended for more than 50 games because of multiple violations? There's also legal issues with the commissioner's office. Do they have the right to announce any suspensions before grievances are decided by the arbitrator? So just a couple small issues there. The MLB is investigating all of this. And Zach, do you want to offer some of your opinion on, what's going on here?
They're obviously going to do their due diligence when it comes to looking into these matters, these accusations. They're not just going to go out there and start suspending players all willy-nilly without proper evidence backing up their thoughts and said accusations. It's been documented that Ryan Braun's been linked to performance-enhancing drugs in the past, even though he was proven innocent. That was kind of a formality, as the test specimen that he was going to be sending in last time had a little mishap and didn't get sent in on time, but that's, another story. Yeah, I just don't see how it's going to end well for these players. The MLB's talking, so since this is going to be pretty much a second violation, they've already been warned once. That's considered the first violation. Second violation, they're looking at upwards to a 100-game suspension. So in a 162-game season, that is a large chunk of time to be sitting out.
And there's also another violation, which I kind of find really silly, but they're saying there could be discipline for players that decide not to respond to the MLB questions that the MLB would ask these players during their interviews. There's some players out there that are refusing to answer them, and there could be another small discipline of those players just added to the other discipline with them being on the steroids as well.
Yeah, but wait a second, Chris. If you don't have anything to hide, then why not sit down and answer these questions that the MLB is, posing to you?
Yeah, and that really brings up a good thought there, Zach. I didn't even think of that before. That, if you are a player that is refusing to say anything, you must be hiding something, as you said there. Why else wouldn't you just fess up and say, all right, yeah, I was on them, or, I wasn't on them. So, if you weren't on them, don't you think you'd want to explain yourself?
Yeah, the way I look at it personally is if you're on the up and up and you don't have anything to hide, then why not just sit down and answer these questions? It's just kind of silly considering that they won't sit down and answer these questions, and yet they're here trying to maintain their innocence in the whole thing. Baseball in the Barre.
Baseball in the Barre.
Baseball where?
Baseball in the Barre.
In the Barre.
In the Barre.
Time for our newest segment here on Rounding Third, brought to you by Podbean.com. It's Baseball in the Barre, where we take a look at local baseball here in the Wilkes-Barre area, Poconos, Wilkes-Barre. And first story here, out of King's College, a close personal friend of Chris and myself, former King's College baseball standout Chris Sweeney has been signed by the Kansas City Royals last week. Sweeney is going to be playing Rookie League baseball for the Burlington Royals of the Appalachian League, which is the Royals rookie squad based in Burlington, North Carolina. Sweeney just graduated this past May and was the first Monarch player to be named first team NCAA Division III All-American by the American Baseball Coaches Association and wrapped up his amazing 2013 season, ranked first nationally in NCAA Division III with a .496 batting average, 10 home runs, 16 doubles, 41 RBI, and has a school record .942 slugging percentage to go along with quite a few individual records as well during his time at Kings.
Yeah, and during the season, Sweeney was also awarded the school record 22-game hitting streak and 11 for 11 in stolen bases. He actually got the outstanding play by being named the 2013 Freedom Conference Player of the Year. Sweeney was basically just an all-around outstanding player for the Monarchs.
Yeah, it couldn't have happened to a nicer kid either. I mean, Sweeney never had a bad thing to say about anyone. Pretty much put his nose to the grindstone. He, in addition to his coursework, of course, he was always in the batting cage, always trying to perfect his game, work hard. And you see where it got him. Now he's going to get a chance to play some outfield for the, as we said, the farm team of the Kansas City Royals. And Sweeney, we wish you luck, and don't forget us, man, when you're in the show.
That's right. We'll call you back when we're in the big leagues as well, the big leagues of radio, that is. We'll be having you on the show anytime you want, Sween Dog.
All right, and what other local news do we have here for baseball in the Barre?
Well, the Yankees' Derek Jeter, that is, played for the local AAA affiliate of the New York Yankees, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, which I don't really understand where exactly the logo and where the name for that came from. Not really a fan of it, but that's another story for a different day.
That's another story for another day.
But anyway, Derek Jeter played a little stint here with the local baseball affiliate, the Rail Riders, and he played 4 rehab games with them, and basically when he played these rehab games, he was terrible. He basically was not a sight for the local Wilkes-Barre fans of the New York Yankees. He went 1 for 9, 4 walks, and 2 runs scored. And then his final rehab game on Wednesday night, he went 0 for 3, and he also made a throwing error. But word on the street is that Jeter was out and about all over throughout the northeastern Pennsylvania region, exploring all the different cities. I heard he was in Scranton, up in Carbondale, and all different little cities and diners. And the overall consensus was Jeter said he loved the people of Scranton. And there's actually a billboard that just went up for a few days that mentions Scranton loves you, Jeter. So, just another addition to the northeastern Pennsylvania coal mining region. All these people got to see one of the biggest stars in the major leagues.
Yeah, it's always kind of something when a celebrity of any kind comes to Northeast PA, and even if it's just for a couple hours, let alone a couple days, people tend to go to the far right end of the spectrum, if you will, and they tend to get extremely excited, and Derek Jeter is certainly one of the most recognizable ball players in baseball today. I mean, he's been doing it forever for one of the premier franchises in the league. So just the fact that he was gracing northeastern PA with his presence is pretty big news in itself for this area.
Yeah, and then actually news tonight when Jeter was supposedly supposed to return to the Yankees tonight and play with them. Well, apparently he was pulled out early due to tightness in his quad, and he's awaiting an MRI. So that rehab stint on his return is already cut short. So maybe he might need to come back for a couple more days. I wouldn't think they're going to do that to him again. But, he might need a little bit more rehab and just take it slower on these smaller leagues here in the AAA affiliate until he's up to that full speed and can continue back into the lineup of the Yankees.
What's that? Jeter might be coming back. Look out, Northeast PA. A couple more billboards might be popping up.
And that ends our segment, Baseball in the Barre.
Baseball in the Barre.
Baseball in the Barre. And finally, to wrap up the show here on Rounding Third Base, we have some transaction updates around the league. And first, we'll start off with the Philadelphia Phillies. Their star, Ryan Howard, was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in his left knee. That was after an MRI revealed that on Monday. And there was no waste in time getting him right into surgery. He actually already had surgery on Wednesday morning. Now he is just recovering from that surgery. Can't say that the Phillies weren't struggling without him being out, but now apparently they're on the verge of making their way back to 500, at least going into Wednesday's game. Approximate return for Howard could be 6 to 8 weeks, depending on obviously how his rehab and everything goes. Can get himself back into the lineup by the end of August. Any other transactions there, Big Z?
Well, I mean, on the trade side of things, the MLB had its first major trade of this season a couple days ago, with Ricky Nolasco being traded away from the Miami Marlins to the Los Angeles Dodgers for a few minor league pitchers. Ricky Nolasco has since made his debut with the Dodgers, in which he won pretty handily, I might add, and even contributed with a few hits at the plate. Nolasco is going to be a very solid acquisition for the Dodgers. He was a solid pitcher for the Marlins for a few years, and he's really going to benefit greatly from the improved offensive lineup that the Dodgers field on a daily basis. Other than that, I mean, Alex Rios, we talked about him in an earlier episode. He is very well still a possibility to be traded here within the next couple weeks. He went 6 for 6 in a game the other day, so his stock is pretty high right now. And another name that I've been hearing around the water cooler has been Michael Young, who is the third baseman for the Phillies. He has been mentioned as a possible trade target for the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Out of those two teams, I think that a deal to the Yankees would most likely be what's going to happen there. Anything else, Chris?
Yes, and Zach, I don't know if you remember, a couple shows ago, we were talking about the draft, and we were talking about, do you remember Phil Bickford?
I do, and we said that we didn't think that the Blue Jays would be signing him. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that is going to be true. That pretty much word on the street is that Bickford is likely going to attend Cal State Fullerton. Blue Jays are saying that it's not really a money issue, although the pre-draft asking price for him was $4.25 million. But it looks like we can just about confirm that Bickford will be attending Cal State Fullerton and not signing with the Blue Jays.
And you heard that here first on Rounding Third, brought to you by Podbean.com. So way to go, buddy. We broke some news.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We know our stuff after all.
We try. We try to get the most valuable resources out there, and we try to break the news to the people
before
so
it even happens.
Is that it for all of our transactions this week, Zachy D?
That is all that I have here right now.
Oh, there we go. I could hear that exit music telling us I guess it's time to end this show. And that's what we will do.
That time.
We will do that in an orderly fashion as we usually do.
Single file. We thank you. We thank you for listening. This has been another beautiful episode of Rounding Third, brought to you by Podbean.com. I just have tears of joy streaming down my face right now, just because of the majesty that was this episode. So, once again, we'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to us banter and discuss baseball. And we hope that you tune in next time. So with that, this is Zach DeLeiden.
And this is Christopher M. Wilson.
And here we are once again, signing off.